Hey, what is going on guys? Danny here, welcome back to the channel and I hope you've all been doing well. In about a day or so, AMD's next generation GPUs, the RX 6800 and RX 6800 XT, will hit store shelves, officially marking AMD's return to the high-end enthusiast GPU segment. After being absent for like 3 years or so and letting Nvidia run uncontested, I think I can speak for everyone when I say we desperately needed some competition back in the market. Competition is indeed what AMD brings to the table with their RX 6000 series, with cards such as the RX 6800 XT that trades blows with Nvidia's RTX 3080, has more VRAM, supports ray tracing, although performance still needs to be validated there, but is actually a bit cheaper. It definitely seems like an attractive option for buyers in the segment. Adding on to that, Nvidia's RTX 30 series launch was just an absolute disaster, and the fact that there are still people with day one orders who haven't gotten their cards yet, that is an utter failure. There's really no other way to put it. Nvidia messed that up real hard, and it's not like this was an issue for just one card like the 3090, but so far there's been supply issues for all three Nvidia GPUs out in the market right now. I still look at my 3080 and go, whoa, how in the world did I manage that? So when I discussed Nvidia shortages in some of my previous videos, I said that AMD, this is just a golden opportunity for you guys to come in and take the market by storm. From the looks of it, they already have performance nailed down, the cards look very promising. Now you just gotta get out there, release the cards to store shelves and sell them, because I know many people said that, hey, if I can get my hands on whatever comes first, whether that's a 6800 XT or a 3080, I'm all for it. Seems like an easy win, right? Well, if only were it so easy. Now, recently, AMD also released their Ryzen 5000 series CPUs, and availability also wasn't that great. I also covered this in a previous video if you want to check it out. Basically, stock for the Ryzen 5 5600X and Ryzen 7 5800X was more abundant, and you'd have a decent chance of placing an order at your local retailer or online and getting it fulfilled relatively quickly. However, the Ryzen 9 CPUs, especially here in Canada, are just basically nowhere to be seen, essentially just non-existent. I had placed a back order with Canada Computers on launch day, was second in queue, and still haven't received my CPU yet. Although I had a bit of a, what shall I say, issues with this particular retailer, which, I don't know, I'll probably talk about and share my experience with you guys in another video. But yeah, as of yet, still don't have my 5900X. So generally, for the most part, stock for the Ryzen 5000 series wasn't that great. It wasn't nearly as bad as what happened with the RTX 30 series, but to be fair, these are CPUs we're talking about. They have relatively small dies and are a lot easier to manufacture. But despite that, supply is dwindling, with many retailers even saying that you might not get a Ryzen 9 CPU until early next year. Wow. That is just horrible. So for the RX 6000 series, I wasn't expecting the stock situation to be much better, but there was that small glitter of hope that this hardware launch wouldn't be so bad. Third time's a charm, right? I mean, RTX 30 series was bad, Ryzen 5000 was bad. This will be the third major hardware release that goes bad. I don't know, it's 2020, I guess that's to be expected at this point. You guys can just go ahead and take a look at the PS5 and Xbox Series launch as well, which also didn't go too well. And now we've also seen reports come out from various sources stating that apparently worldwide, AMD's availability for the RX 6800 and RX 6800 XT will also be quite limited, perhaps just as bad as the RTX 30 series, which is really a damn shame to hear. One of the first people to come out and state this was Steve from Hardware Unboxed, an Australian tech tuber. Steve's an awesome guy, I love his channel, an absolute benchmarking machine, and he mentioned in his 6800 XT unboxing video that they spoke with multiple retailers in their region, all of whom said that stock seems terrible, like RTX 30 series of terrible, which is not something I wanted to hear, that's for sure. Though Steve did mention that they only talked to Australian retailers. Adding on to that though, Red Gaming Tech, who are a hardware news channel based out in the UK, also said that they would have really limited supply, where initially they said that one of their sources told them that for both the RX 6800 and 6800 XT GPUs, there would only be a measly 1200 cards throughout the entirety of UK, with a chance of another 1200 before launch if they're lucky. That is absolutely terrible, guys. Considering how many thousands of gamers and PC hardware enthusiasts would be interested in buying one of these new GPUs, there will clearly not be enough to go around. Author of CapFrameX on Twitter, big Navi supply is bad as Ampere supply, it's a disaster, good luck folks if you want to get a card at launch. A statement that lines up with the other two, and I believe these guys are based out in Germany if I'm not mistaken, I don't know, don't quote me on that. And I guess I'll add on to that with my own information about the stock levels that we have here in Canada, and let me tell you, it's not good. I've spoken to 3 well-known retailers here in the Greater Toronto area, and they've all basically given me a similar response as to what Hardware Unboxed got. Essentially, what we're looking at here are stock levels that are going to be extremely dire at launch. The situation will be just as bad as it was for the RTX 3080. Where among the three I talked to, the biggest one said that they did receive a shipment, although it's not by any means large, rather small. A shipment of just 40 to 50 GPUs to be spread out across the country to a few select stores. So if you plan on lining up, either camp out the night before or don't expect you'll be able to buy an RX 6800 or 6800 XT on launch day, and expect you'll be placed on a back order. As for the other two, well, they said they haven't even received any Radeon GPUs. They do have an order placed for them, but again, initial supply will be comparable to the supply of the 3080, so extremely low or scarce, so expect more back orders. Oh, and they also said that they don't really have any clear ETA as to when they'll be getting their stock, aside from a 1 to 3 week wait for their initial batch. And I was also told that they probably shouldn't be getting any better levels of stock in the following week. So this just really sucks. It's disappointing, plain as that. I was very much looking forward to the release of these new Radeon graphics cards. Not that I was interested in buying one day one or anything. I mean, at this point, I'm done standing outside in line in the cold, and neither am I going to be constantly refreshing any websites. As much as I would have loved to have a Radeon GPU in my personal rig and review it, I won't be going to such lengths and will probably just wait until stock normalizes, which who knows, it might not be until next year. But hey, unless an AIB reaches out and wants me to review one of their cards, then just don't expect any RX 6000 test videos or reviews from me in the near future. With that said though, I would have still just liked to see a hardware launch go smoothly for once, where gamers and hardware enthusiasts could go out, buy the hardware at the retailer of their choosing, and then just be able to enjoy it, not have to worry about back orders or delays or, getting told that, hey, we have no ETA of when you'll be getting your product. 2020 was a great year for hardware announcements. We had a lot of great stuff come out this year, not just on the PC hardware side of things, but with next-gen consoles as well. But what good does it do if you can't actually buy the damn things? It's actually pretty funny because when the RTX 3090 was released, quote-unquote released to the market, a user on Twitter said that $10 says AMD will be a paper launch too, to which Frank Azar, who is the chief architect of gaming solutions at AMD, replied with, "I look forward to taking your $10. Well, I hope it's not too late to get in on this betting game because I for sure know where the odds lie. But I mean, jokes aside, why say stuff like this when you know the situation isn't going to be any better? I get it, he's just doing marketing PR speak, but it's not like he was obligated to say anything, so then why say something that people and fanboys will literally inscribe on a stone tablet and then burn you for it if it doesn't come true? I don't know. Now, the other thing I wanted to circle back to was how availability will probably remain low for quite some time, as these GPUs are much larger than CPU dies and custom console SoCs, which probably have more priority at TSMC's fabs. With their sizes relative to how many are produced on a single wafer, I take it they're not producing as many to meet the demand. Aside from that, with the whole global pandemic going on, with many countries locking down again, it's severely impacting the market in terms of supply, production, logistics, etc. But, I just want to get this video out and share the information with you guys, as I know there were a lot of people who were looking forward to the release of the 6800 and 6800 XT and were interested in buying them early, but as it turns out, you'll be extremely lucky to get one of these cards in your hands on release day, so temper your expectations. I'd say get your winter camping tents ready if you're willing to go to such lengths. Get your F5 fingers ready because you'll need them. I hope you guys found this video to be informative and helpful. Let me know your thoughts down below. Check out the video description on ways to support the channel and for my other videos. If you guys are interested in more content like this, then make sure you're subscribed. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.